Good afternoon. My name is Jeanette Chabalala, News 24's legal reporter. We're coming to you live from the Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture. Well, with me here, I'm with my colleague, Kyle Cowen, who will be breaking it down for us, breaking Angelo Agrizzi's testimony, which has been lit, as the young ones like saying. Kyle, thank you so much for joining me. So what's been happening today? Can you please just explain that?
Sure. So today is the second day of Mr. Angelo Agrizzi's testimony. As we know, he's the former Chief Operations Officer from Bosasa. So today we've been going through a video clip. It's about 5.5 minutes long, but it's taken us the best part of the morning to get through the first 2 minutes of this video. And basically this video shows cash being counted out inside a vault at Bosasa's headquarters in Krugersdorp. Now this is in aid of trying to paint the picture of how this company bribed government officials over years. Every month they would count out these cash parcels. It would be placed in grey plastic security bags, and then it would be delivered to these individuals. Now this was in exchange for, the quid pro quo. They got government contracts and they said, okay, we're going to pay you monthly so that you ensure that we remain on these contracts and that we continue to make millions off these contracts.
Okay, Kyle, his testimony was certainly explosive, but why now? Why is he coming forward now?
I think we can argue that it's the most explosive testimony we've seen so far because of just the intricate detail and the insight that it's giving into this criminal enterprise. There's a couple of reasons why Mr. Agrizzi would come forward now. He has explained to the Commission that in the end of 2016, he had a heart tumor, he was in a coma, he had life-threatening surgery, and after that he discussed it with his family and he wanted out. He didn't want to be part of this bad thing anymore. But what News 24 has uncovered as well is that Mr. Agrizzi is trying to obtain a Section 204 indemnity from the courts. So he will testify against his co-accused in a case that goes back to 2010, also involving more corruption. And what he will then try and do is, if the court believes his testimony is credible, they will grant him indemnity from being prosecuted for those crimes. So this is sort of a precursor to that. He's setting out his story, he's getting comfortable with his story, and also it's giving a great amount of insight into Bosasa and putting a lot of pressure on the people at Bosasa and the NPA to act.
Okay, Kyle, when I hear state capture, I think the Guptas, I think the former president, but now we hear about the Watsons. Can you please tell us more about, who is Gavin Watson?
So Gavin Watson is one of three brothers, okay? So it's Gavin, Ronnie and Valence Watson. All three brothers have strong struggle credentials. Way back in the day in the Eastern Cape, they refused to play for all white rugby teams. They didn't believe in the segregation back then. And this gave them a very high standing in the community and with the ANC, of course. So in the years since then, we're talking about in the 70s and the 80s, in the years since then, the three Watson brothers have sort of established themselves in the business community. Gavin specifically has used those ANC credentials to sort of push Bosasa to the next level. In the beginning, they were a company that provided catering to mine hostels, to the private sector. And they grew, and in Mr. Agrizzi's own words, there was a growth spurt, between the early 2000s and mid 2005. And they gained a serious amount of contracts from government during that time. And what we know now is that they sort of played on those political connections to get a foot in the door, to start putting money down on the table to entice people to award them contracts.
Oh, that is certainly interesting. So Kyle, yesterday, the testimony was really explosive, and then today we just saw the video clip. Can we expect more? Can we expect more bombshells to be,
Yes, so
dropped?
This morning on News 24 we published a piece, sort of speculating about what's going to happen. In the next couple of days, it's my understanding that Mr. Agrizzi will come back next week, maybe even to the end of next week, to deliver further testimony. And what we're going to see some big names coming up. We're going to see ministers, MPs. We're going to see the former president is going to make a star-studded appearance, as it were. And Mr. Agrizzi has been able to, over the years, collect quite a serious amount of information on how Bosasa bribed certain individuals, the favors that were done. News 24 has reported about the CCTV systems installed at people's houses. It sounds strange, but it's 150 to 200,000 rand per house. And these are really high-end security systems that were gifts that weren't declared. And essentially what this was for is to try and curry favor with people that were in positions of power. We have the former Secretary General of the ANC, Gwede Matashe. We have the former Water Affairs Minister, Nomvula Mokonyane, is going to make an appearance. And then, very interestingly, that we're going to see some names from the National Prosecuting Authority, which is going to be explosive in the extreme. We have a situation where Bosasa has been under investigation for close to 10 years, 9 years now. A prosecution has been delayed, and we're finally going to get some reasons why.
Wow, well, there you have it. This is Kyle Cowen, our investigative reporter. My name is Jeanette Chabalala. Keep following News 24 for more updates.